Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Hello and welcome to the Zedos Gang podcast number 12. Trailers today are Independence Day, Resurgence, Beauty and the Beast, and Finding Dory. Our topics this week include Nintendo's foray into movies, Kingsman, the Golden Circle casting, Sam Mendes talking about Bond, Wesley Snipes on a Blade Return, Suicide Squad, spin-off movies, casting for both Ghost in the Shell and Battle Angel Alita. Much more to be said on the Zedos Gang. So Joe, Independence Day.
Okay, so Independence Day Resurgence. This is the the epic 5-minute trailer that was revealed last week, Monday, I believe. What can I say about this? I really liked it. I know a few people think they showed too much of it, but from what I could see, they just stitched a lot of the stuff that were in the past trailers and just extended them a little bit. And it told, if there was no audience that knew anything about this film and saw this one, then I think they would go into it wanted to see more. But for people that have seen the first film and know who the characters are and have got and want to go and see this film, I think it may be a bit too revealing for some people. But I enjoyed what this trailer showed me. I wish I saw it on that trailer on the big screen, because it would just look epic. Because the terms of scale, things look big, and I like that. It gave me the first feeling of watching the first one when the ships were coming through the atmosphere, and you just this huge ship, everyone's just looking up in awe, like, and this one has the same feeling with it as well. It just has that feeling of awe, and like, oh my god. And so yeah, I enjoyed it. What about you?
Well, you see, I really enjoyed the previous trailer. This one, it was 4 minutes long. It felt a bit long-winded, and I just kind of felt it showed a little bit too much in places. Like specifically story points and stuff. I still think the movie's going to be great. A great look at. I still want to see it. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling this particular trailer. I just felt it was just one of those ones where it kind of showed too much kind of thing. But that was myself personally. I still really want to see this film. I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah. That's really it. I'm sorry, man.
Why are you sorry?
I'm sorry I didn't share the Independence Day love there.
What do you mean?
I love the trailer.
Sorry, what?
I said I didn't love the trailer.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
That's
cool. Yeah.
that's okay.
I'm sorry, man.
I was talking about Independence Day.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just in the first time I saw it, it was just this. I'd never seen anything like that before, so it was. What I was trying to say, I got the similar feeling.
Oh, okay,
from the trailer in terms of scale.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I really liked about it. But if that's your review on it, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next trailer, Beauty and the Beast. I think Beauty and the Beast was one of the last Disney films I saw in the cinema. Just going by it, what this trailer's doing, it's following the same kind of beats that the animated film did, and it's a teaser trailer, so there's lots of people opening doors that you can't see, and voices that of characters that you can't see, and you see a little bit of Belle and the flower in the glass jar, a bit of a soundtrack with the piano. It seems to be a theme in trailers these days.
Basically what you're saying is, I can't see shit in this trailer.
Essentially, yeah. It's in terms of what a teaser trailer should do, I guess it did its job. Yeah, it's that's all I can say about it really. I can't say I enjoyed it because I didn't really see anything. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you'd hit the nail on the head there. You know, it's intriguing. Had some iconic imagery and stuff from like the animated film and stuff for me. I'm pretty sure that all the general audiences that catch this trailer will know exactly what it's about, and you get a brief glimpse of Emma Watson like as Belle. Yeah, there's nothing really much to tell other than it's an alright teaser trailer, to be honest. That's about it.
yeah, well, again, yeah, teaser trailer to Finding Dory, another Disney film. Yeah, so this surprised me, this trailer, because I was disinterested in Finding Dory up until I saw this trailer, and there's some good laughs in it. There's a couple of chuckles and a good laugh at the end of the trailer. This is the third trailer that's been released, by the way, and yeah, it's got that dry, witty humor that was in the original. I say dry, it's not that dry, but it's enjoyable. It goes through the very similar story beats that the original Finding Nemo did, and some of the same characters you see again, but it looks funny. It looks really funny. I'm actually pretty surprised because I've been I don't know I've been I don't think I've seen anything animated in a real long time. I actually can't remember what the last Pixar film I saw in the cinema, but this looks really good. I enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like, Pixar just doing what they do best here. I was a little bit concerned because, like, I know out of all the Pixar sequels, this is one that was put out because, they got the original director back. They enticed him to do this. He just came off a John Carter bombing for Disney themselves. So, they grabbed him, and all of a sudden, the minute that film bombed, they announced Finding Dory like magic. And it kind of concerned me a bit that it was a bit reactionary, if you know what I mean, to that director. And his previous resume outside of John Carter's been the original Finding Nemo, some of the earlier Pixar classics that came out before and stuff. So he's mainly an animation guy. That trailer kind of convinced me that I had a solid story to work at rather than it just being a sequel for the sake of being a sequel. It had some genuine laughs in that trailer.
Yeah.
And it did surprise me because I wasn't really looking forward to this one because I don't know, Pixar in recent years for me, outside of Inside Out, which was fantastic by the way. If you hadn't seen Inside Out, everyone should check that. I kind of felt stuff like Monsters University and stuff, kind of went a bit downhill. They had great premises, but they never hit the mark that Pixar used to have, kind of like back in the heyday. But hopefully this will be all right. It looks promising. I'm not gonna lie, I like Pixar. Like, they haven't done shit films yet. Well, they've just done, either great or good films.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Good Dinosaur, that was just and Cars. Yeah, except for dinosaurs and Cars. Yeah, no.
The Good Dinosaur, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's got a dinosaur in it. He wasn't very good.
There's a lot of films that.
But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
You enjoyed the trailer then?
Yeah, I enjoyed the trailer.
Okay, alright, great. Just before we go into our news topics, there's something that just dropped on the Collider's website. I'm not going to spend too long on this, but it's Jesse Eisenberg confirms his Lex Luthor return. Whoever enjoyed his performance of Lex Luthor, you're going to get more of it. So, be that as it is, what do you think of this news? Okay then.
No comment. I'm saving all my Jesse Eisenbergisms for my review on the Batman Superman when it comes out on DVD, the R-rated cut. We'll save my review for that.
Fantastic. Okay, so on to the main news topics, and Nintendo, as you know, have dived into filmmaking before, which with Super Mario Brothers, and that didn't turn out very well, so they didn't do anything for a very long time. Now they're saying, after a few decades, that they want to start making films again with some of their key franchises, and in my humble opinion, they should start with Zelda. The Legend of Zelda.
Okay, are they making the films like the Marvel way, where they're creating a studio and then, you know, getting directors attached and then finding a studio to back them to make the films? Or are they just selling their IPs to studios like how Marvel used to do in the 2000s, and the studios make the film based on their IP like everything else?
From what I understand, they're looking for studios to take on these films, because up until the Sony hack, Sony was going to do a Mario Brothers film.
Okay.
And so I don't think anything's changed with what they plan to do, but they want all that was said on that what site was it? It was Screen Rant, that they want to develop films
from their IPs.
but I think that's with a studio, as opposed
sure.
to doing it themselves, which I don't think they would be good at.
I hear you. I've got a few opinions about this. They're not exactly the right opinions, but that's just from my point of view.
Go for
it. I'm actually pro seeing a Mario Brothers movie on the condition that it's animated like a Pixar film. You get like a CG animation studios with a semi-track record, and just make a brilliant Mario Brothers movie. If you have it animated, then it'll probably make you believe in that, that Super Mario world a little bit more than, say, if it was live action. You know what I mean? And because you kind of see it as a kids' film, you can bring in that audience, and you know what I mean? It kind of grounds it a little bit more. With Super Mario. With Legend of Zelda, I know everyone in the whole universe would like to see a Legend of Zelda movie. That's a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in the camp where I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see a Legend of Zelda movie.
Just as in the same way you don't like Link talking. Or anyone else talking in the game.
No. I don't like Link talking in the games. I just think that's but that's just a video game.
No, I'm messing with you.
That's my own opinion there. I mean, be that as that may, that doesn't mean I'm right or whatever. I'm just saying, Zelda's like a big thing. Like I think personally, I'd like to see an anime. In a different, I know that's not Hollywood and stuff.
That's not going to happen.
I know, but I'm just discussing what, if I was the guy that was in charge of shit, okay, over at Nintendo, I'd be like, Mario Brothers, Pixar film, or get the best of the best, good writers, make a Pixar type movie out of it. We'll go with that IP. Legend of Zelda, I would make a Zelda movie with the Zelda series and do it as an anime. Do it to the manga anime crowd. That way, you wouldn't spend that much money on it, but you generate that audience off of that crowd kind of thing. Because I think the art style to the games lends itself quite well to that. That's just myself. If I was a filmmaker, I'd see that as an avenue more than a live action, because the minute you go live action, you know what I mean? Like, I'm too afraid to fuck that IP up completely than to do it live action. I'd say the reason why I'd say do it as an anime is kind of the safer option, I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe more intelligent people can tell me, you're wrong, Sash, this is how it should be. And, make
I'm
that happen.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, but I mean, like, other people listening, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not always right all the time.
I'm sure
but
there are many people are.
But we clearly have a difference in opinion here, because the reason being, Zelda's that precious to me, where I'm kind of like, do I really want to see a live action version? I'm kind of... One thing I'd like to see a live action Nintendo IP would probably be Metroid. Metroid would be interesting. Hard to pull off, but I don't know which way, whether I'd go with a Netflix series or a movie, like a movie trilogy or something. Joe, what, your thoughts on Samus Aran? There?
I'm so. Do you know? I've got nothing against Netflix, but I'm so surprised people jump to it purely because you still limit yourself.
Yeah.
If even if you were, I don't know. I'd with Metroid. The last person who tried to do a Metroid film was John Woo.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you know how I feel about John Woo at the moment. He can redeem himself if he does a decent film.
He has done Redcliffe.
Yeah, I didn't like that. He's Mission Impossible 2 is very hard to forgive.
Well, it is a shockingly shit entry into the Mission Impossible series, but you know.
With Metroid, I would like to see Ridley Scott do that. I think Ridley Scott or James Cameron, I think could put in that direction, could because it's so alien-like anyway.
Yeah.
It will fit in their ballpark easily as a live action. I don't think you could do that as an anime or a cartoon because it's got too much of a hard sci-fi feel to it, and I don't think sci-fi is done very well in anime.
Yeah.
Not the sci-fi I like to see. It's usually it's very over the top, and I just roll my eyes at it, or it's not enough. The best sci-fi I've seen in anime is Akira or A Ghost in the Shell. There are others, but I can't name them at the moment. But in terms of Metroid, live action. Don't know who the director would be, but those are my choices for that. Going back to the Zelda thing. I see where you're coming from with the anime aspect of it, but that's their biggest IP. You would be shrinking.
Yeah, you'd be shrinking the audience. I totally get you. The reason why I'd go with that is like the word of mouth in creating something bigger than what the game is in terms of scope of the story. Just
make a good film.
Yeah,
that's the best way of getting be it animated, be it CG, be it manga.
Yeah.
Anime. Just make a good film.
Would you go cel shaded?
No. What do you mean cel shaded?
Like 3D, but cel shaded. You know, like some of the games. But in the art style.
They did. There's a manga called Appleseed. It's I can't remember what Appleseed in the series it is, but I watched that and it looked terrible.
Oh, okay.
I hated. I stopped watching it because I didn't like what I was looking at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like the art style at all. Okay. And it was a CG cel shaded look that they went for, and I hated that. It just looked awful. So
which Appleseed was this?
It's one of the recent ones.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up, but in terms of The Legend of Zelda, I think you should treat that pretty. I think you either go CG animated TV show or live action film. Purely because that IP sits between your teen demographic and people that have grown up with it, so people my age and people that are just getting into it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but that's what I would do with it.
Well, I know what I do with Star Fox.
Right, puppet show.
Puppets, man. Star Fox with puppets as a TV show aimed at kids.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That would be amazing. Like, just like the old, like, TV ad. If people haven't seen it, like, look at the Super Nintendo ad for the original Star Fox. They had it with puppets. You could use CGI ships to a degree, but puppets as, like, Fox, Slippy, and the hair. What's the hair called? Anyway, Peppy, I don't know.
Yeah,
just have
Peppy.
them all. Just have them all in puppets and in the little, like, fucking air wings and stuff. Be nuts, man. Be freaking nuts.
Oh yeah, I'd
also
like to
on
see
the
that.
DVD extras, have a lilac mode.
who said it depends where it shows up. If it's if it's a film, then yeah, I'd see that more as a TV show.
Yeah, if it was a film, I wouldn't want to see it as puppets, but you know, as a TV series, I think that'd be like really cheap kind of way to do it, and you know, generate a kind of buzz towards that IP. Because I think what Nintendo need to do really, in terms, you know what, this is a perfect example of what they used to do back in the 80s, where they had their IPs on TV for kids. You know, as animated shows, and that kind of got the kids interested in Nintendo in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted a Nintendo. I saw the Super Mario cartoon, I was like, I want a Nintendo. You know, it's just all about like establishing the brand a bit more out there, and they could do that with movies. But I wouldn't want to see them limit themselves just to the movies. Let's say TV, cartoons, series. You know what I mean? Whatever kind of media, so people be like, oh, that's Link, oh, that's Zelda. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man.
Well, yeah. I mean,
wasn't there an F-Zero TV series at one point, or anime?
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
I know the last game had like episodic elements to it.
Oh, okay.
But that's all I know. But yeah. Well, whatever Nintendo do, I'm sure they'll find a way to do it, and yeah, and they'll make money with it. Okay, on to the next topic, which is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So, it was just been announced that Jeff Bridges has signed up to play a character in the new Kingsman film. What he will play, I don't know, but it seems that the dude is in Kingsman. What do you think about this?
I think that's just fantastic news. I love Jeff Bridges. He can be in anything, and I will not have a problem with in general. Yeah, man, I'm down. I love Kingsman. Can't wait for this movie. If you haven't checked out Kingsman, you should check it. It has some of the best action set pieces I've ever seen in a church. It's an amazing film, and it's just gotten more amazing by putting Jeff Bridges in there.
Yeah.
He is the dude. I mean, like, personally, I'm still waiting for his Star Wars debut. You know, ooh. I think he'd be amazing in Star Wars as anything. So, like, you know, you heard it here first.
Who would you cast him as Star Wars? Would he be a Jedi? Would he be a...
He could be anything he motherfucking wants to be. He could be a smuggler. He could be a Jedi. He could be a Sith Lord, a puppet, R2 unit, whatever. I don't care.
A puppet?
Yeah, man. A puppet with his voice.
Fair enough. I don't know much about the Kingsman sequel, but I know that people really wanted I forgot his name, Firth. Colin Firth.
Yes.
To return in this film, and
what makes you say he doesn't?
I mean, it hints that he is in it, and
yeah.
I don't think anyone expected his character to be loved as much as it was.
Oh yeah.
But, just imagine it if Jeff Bridges shows up and he just does a Mission Impossible and it's that would be brilliant.
Well, I thought that was going to happen with Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, and it'd be Pierce Brosnan. But that's a conversation, a drunken conversation I had with someone another time.
Oh right. So interesting concept there.
Well, Pierce is gone, and it was a reboot, so you know,
yeah.
The chips were against him.
I guess so. Okay. On from Kingsman to Sam Mendes doesn't want to do Bond anymore. Well, he didn't say that. He said I think it's over for him. He thinks someone else should take over. He said it was an incredible adventure. I loved every second of it. And he thinks someone else should take up the mantle now, as Bond films go. So
definitely. I mean, like, look, here's the thing. He approached Daniel Craig because he always wanted to make a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how he got the gig. Daniel Craig got him with the producers and they put him on. And I'm going to say this now, even though I know a few of my friends have disagreed with me on this. I personally think Skyfall is the best goddamn James Bond movie we have had since GoldenEye. Okay, like I wasn't a fan of Daniel Craig's interpretation of James Bond, but these last two films, because of the direction of Sam Mendes and the way he has taken this series from where they left off in Quantum of Solace.
Mm-hmm.
He's made Daniel Craig a Bond to me in terms of this incarnation.
Yeah.
Okay? I loved Skyfall, okay, despite me not being the biggest Craig supporter, okay? I love that movie. I cannot floor that movie. I know a lot of people didn't feel the same way about Spectre, but you know what? I liked Spectre. I personally liked Spectre. It felt like a James Bond movie to me. Those two movies felt like James Bond movies. It even had me rooting for Daniel Craig, okay? I actually want to see Daniel Craig back to finish or continue what they have set up with this series to this point. But it wouldn't, I wouldn't cry about it if he didn't come back. But that's solely because of these two films that Mendes has done. I think the brilliant thing about Sam Mendes is that he was a James Bond fan. He grew up on it just like everyone else has, and he just wanted to do as a director his James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that lends a lot of clout there, because he, you know what I mean? He's not a guy that got hired to do the job and not care and let the writers do their thing and, this is a script, okay, I'll point and shoot. Mm-hmm. Because that's been the case on some of these James Bond movies, for years, you know what I mean? And then every now and again you'll get Martin Campbell come back, who's someone that respects the franchise. And Martin Campbell has done 2 great Bond movies, and that's GoldenEye and Royale. Royale's a good movie, but I don't think it's as good as everyone else says it is. My problem with Royale is I feel it has pacing issues, kind of thing. I think it's a good story, but I think it has pacing issues. That's my own problem. But I'm not here to discuss that. I would like them, whoever the next director they get someone that's a Bond fan that knows Bond. My personal recommendation, and it's quite the obvious choice, bit of a big name, Christopher Nolan. The guy's been screaming to do one of these pictures. His whole body of work is influenced by these pictures. Inception with the skiing, okay? Straight out of a Bond picture. The way he structures his Batman film, especially Begins and The Dark Knight Rises, it's a Bond picture, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out. He's even said it in interviews. Inception and the Batman films lends itself to that quite clearly. I think he'd be a perfect James Bond director to follow up Mendes. I hope they get him. If not him, someone that equally has a love for that franchise, because that's what any IP needs. Someone with a love for the source material, so that you can get that shit to the next level, if that makes sense. And that, to me, was quite clearly executed in these films. You know what I mean? Skyfall and Spectre, especially the end scene of Skyfall, where you had Malone's who's the new M's office, which is straight out of the 60s James Bond.
Spoilers.
It's not spoiler. It's like 4 years old. You know what I mean? And
I haven't seen it.
You know what I mean? It just, there was just such a nostalgia trip there, where I was just like, wow, this is Bond Begins. You know what I mean? And I felt that in the third film there, that Bond really began with Skyfall for me. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Mendes. If he doesn't want to come back, that's fine, because you know what? He's said all he's had to say. If he did another one, it would probably just be, a bit stale for him. You know what I mean? He'd probably, it probably won't be as good and stuff. So if he's choosing to leave now, because he's probably done everything that he can do. You know what I mean? I just hope they get a good replacement.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the next topic. Blade returns, or Blades return even. Wesley Snipes said recently on not Netflix, on Twitter that he's had words with Marvel about a possible return, and he says it's in Marvel's court now. And I personally would love to see Blade come back as Blade. Or when I mean Blade come back as Blade, as Wesley Snipes come back as Blade, because They tried to do a TV series with a different Blade, and that didn't work. The guy who they got as Blade was more convincing as Chewbacca than he was Blade, and so yeah, for me that was that's a no go. Don't ever do that again. If you're gonna do Blade now, he has to have the exact same, similar charisma to Wesley, and same kind of attitude really. The guy that got in the TV series just, I don't know what he was trying
Jones,
to do.
yeah.
I don't know who he was,
The
but
Stickney Jones.
it's Black Dude number 2.
Yeah, Stickney Jones.
Black Dude number 2. I will not name him because he doesn't deserve to be named.
Come on, man just took a paycheck. Come on.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
he played the Blade for
Stickney
a bit.
Jones, guys.
Black guy number 2 played Blade, and Wesley Snipes wishes to return to this, and I hope he does, to be honest. And I hope it's in a similar vein to what they're doing with Daredevil and the Punisher and Jessica Jones and what's
It's
the
a
other?
Netflix series, yeah.
Not particularly as a Netflix, just in the same vein.
Oh, okay.
I don't see why everything has to go to freaking Netflix now. The other streaming sites out there, which are a bit more accessible and cheaper, and so I'm not saying that Netflix is expensive, but it's getting to the point where they keep raising their prices.
Yeah.
Hey, HD, we can charge more for this. Oh, 4K, we're going to charge for this as well. And the price is going to go up every year. Anyway.
So you're pro Wesley Snipes. I, however, want to see Kevin Hart as Blade. I think he's the correct actor to fill that role. I think he'd be amazing.
Cool.
I'm joking. Of course I want Wesley. Kevin Hart is...
Hey man, you're digging your own grave here, so you go with that.
No, I agree with you, Joe. It'll be, you know what, if he comes back, great. You know what I mean? That's great. That kind of gives the last 2 movies that bit of credence there. You know that they're part of the universe. If not, even if Marvel decides to recast, I'd be fine with that as well, though, because I kind of feel that they've not made a misstep yet. You know what I mean? They know that they are looking after their IPs. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. But the Blade fan that loves those 2 movies that are out there would want Wesley Snipes to return. You know? And, you know, I can't think of a black martial artist actor outside of... Actually, no. What's his name? Michael J. White.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Outside of those 2, there's no one else. Michael J. White, I could buy him as Blade, but then he's everything with his martial arts, you know?
Is he roughly the same age as Wesley Snipes anyway?
Yeah, he's roughly the same age.
I'm sure there are other black actors out there that can do martial arts. It's just that we've not seen them.
Yeah.
That'll go to a whole different thing about Hollywood anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, whatever capacity it comes back in, I'd love to see. I would love to see Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't even aged that much either. He still looks pretty good, and
because he's a vampire. That's why he has the age.
And he still does his martial arts anyway. So
yeah.
it's a no-brainer for me. Yeah, bring him back, man. Amazon, Netflix, whoever wants to pay for it, do it.
Yeah, just don't bring back Stickley, because he was rubbish.
Yeah, no random black guys, please. And so on to the next topic, which is Warner Brothers have said that if the Suicide Squad film does well, they want to see some spin-offs from this. From who I don't know what characters, some of the characters in this film. So that should be interesting in itself if the film is actually good. To be honest, it just has to be better than Batman vs Superman. So
I think it's got potential to be. I like the
bar's low.
Huh?
The bar's low, very low.
The bar is very low, but I do like the director Daniel Ayer, who did End of Watch, and he did the Small League of Sabotage. I think it's got. I think I've grown to. I'd say I've grown to like the idea of this. I wasn't too sure.
Did he do Fury as well?
Yes, he did do Fury. He did do Fury, and that's a fantastic movie for those that haven't seen Fury. But yeah, no, I like the director. I like what they're doing with it. The only thing that I had a problem with initially was Will Smith as Deadshot. Not who I would have picked for Deadshot at all. I think that's what many people are thinking as well. But I'm intrigued to see Leto's Joker. I think it'll be very different. I want to see it. You know what I mean? I just want to see it because I think it's going to be very different and very cool.
Well, I don't think anyone can. No one can do what Heath Ledger did with that Joker.
Yeah, no one can do what Heath Ledger did.
It's just like
what.
It's just like what Jack Nicholson did with that Joker.
No one can do. Well, no one can be Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
You know, just like that's a given. I mean, you know what? I'm going to say this. Every incarnation of the Joker on screen and in animated form has suited its version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even though he's all tatted up and whatnot, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Just by looking at it, I get where they're going for it, and I've slowly I'm looking forward to this particular DC movie. Harlequin looks amazing. Out of all of it, I think no one could say that she doesn't look that bad. Killer Croc looks interesting because that looks like prosthetics rather than CGI there, a guy in a suit. That intrigues me to see what they do with Killer Croc. I can't remember who else is in there. Is Captain Boomerang in there? Or I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well, out of the characters that you know, who's more suited for a spin-off? I'm guessing Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn and Joker, definitely.
Could you see a whole film with the Joker in it? Just about him?
If Harley Quinn's involved, then maybe.
Because I think one of the great things about the Joker is that you don't know his origin.
Yeah, that's true. But I wouldn't want to see an origin story to the Joker. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to see that kind of movie. Harley Quinn, on the other hand, she'd be interesting. Deadshot. Okay, even though I'm not really looking forward to Will Smith being Deadshot's a character who lends himself to his own origin story. You know.
How would you describe Deadshot? Is he like the Punisher?
He's a contract killer.
Okay.
He's a hitman for hire.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because the only time I ever came across Deadshot was when I was at a company working on one of the games, and I was like, who the hell is this character? And it was Deadshot. Oh, okay. And that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I never knew that Batman had a adversary called Deadshot.
He's kind of like between Batman and Green Arrow.
Right.
Kind of thing. Arrow on the TV show actually had like their interpretation of him as well. And the guy in Arrow was fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, what, Will Smith? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Because the way they handled that character in Arrow, he was definitely one of the reasons why I watched that show. Because I only liked the first 2 seasons. So I haven't seen it past the 5th episode of the 4th season, and I've just given up on that show. I'm just like, nope, because Arrow and Chums, fuck that show. That's how I feel about that show. I'm sorry. It's just like Arrow. Hey, you're Oliver Queen. You're the Arrow. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, I am. Here's a costume. Suit up. You can be one of my compadres. Okay, yeah. I'm dead. No, my friend died. That's Arrow in a nutshell. All of his friends. Fuck it. Fuck him. It's Arrow and Chums. They should just call it Arrow and Chums now.
So you like the show then?
I used to really like it, and then I saw Daredevil, and Daredevil's better. Sorry, DC guys, they just fucked that show. Flash is great though. But back on Suicide Squad, back on point. Yeah, that's just generally how I feel about it. I don't know. I don't know many villains that deserve their own solo movies, you know?
Especially not well.
Yeah.
Look,
Catwoman, if they did it properly.
but there have been so many interpretations of Catwoman now.
Yeah.
Like, which one would you do? Would you do the one from the games? Would you do the one from the... Because the one from the games and the one that was in the Christopher Nolan film was very different. Apparently the one in the comic books, she's got like a new suit or something. I don't know.
It's about the same as the games. So,
okay.
Well, unless something's happened recently, which I don't know. I'm not going to lie, I haven't read the comic books in ages, but...
what about Penguin or what that TV show is doing?
A Penguin movie would be great because what they do with his character in Gotham, I wish that was like a Godfather movie, you know, like Goodfellas or something. His rise to power.
Do you know what? The only thing I thought that was ridiculous in that show is that how fast he got. It's like in a week.
Yeah.
He was like
in a week, I'm the king of Gotham.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that was so cheesy. I wanted someone to punch him right there, man. It's like no one stands up in the middle of a firefight and goes, "I'm the king of Gotham." Shut up, man. And that's why I don't like that show as well. It's like there's certain elements about Gotham that I like, but like I want to see Bruce Wayne. I want to see that kid again. He was cool for the pilot. Fuck him. Let him become Batman. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I know his story. I don't care. Oh no, but he's getting a bit more psycho this week. Who gives a shit?
Why would he go psycho? If anything, he'd still be grieving.
Yeah. Fuck knows. I don't care. I really don't care. That's just me though. That's just me.
Well, anyway, Suicide Squad, spin-off films. I'm sure. Hopefully, this will be the DC film that makes a dent. Well, not that Batman vs Superman got make a dent in the box office. It did. It was successful, but I'm guessing this one's more of a lower budget affair and has its leeway of if it makes around 500 million, that'll be great.
Yeah. Part of me wishes this was an R. I know it'd never be one. But...
I just want one of the films to be good.
Yeah.
And entertaining and like all the other super. It's so far this year I would say. What's the name of the film? It's just gone, completely gone. Oh my gosh, what is the name of the film with Ryan Reynolds? Deadpool. So Deadpool's one of the best comic book films I've seen this year, and I just I'm such on a downbeat after Batman vs Superman. Whatever comes along, and someone drags me to it, I'll go watch it. But at this point, I'm not enthused. But okay, so on from that topic, on to the next one is Ghost in the Shell. And so a new cast member has joined this film by the name of Rayla Fukushima, and she was last seen in The Wolverine, the one that came out in 2013 with Hugh Jackman, and I'm not sure what she's playing in this film, but there's a few characters that I could guess that she would be playing. One namely being Aramaki's secretary, or one of the cyborgs that are, or she might be the archetype for the many cyborgs that they have in that world, in that universe. So, or just in Section 9, which is the organization that Aramaki runs, Aramaki being one of the main characters. That's it's not really news really, but it's at least they're going the right way with a Japanese actress.
She was really good in The Wolverine. The Wolverine was kind of like her main film. It was like her first film, if I remember correctly. She's also showed up in episodes of Arrow, and even Game of Thrones as a Red Priestess. Interesting choice. I don't know who she's playing as well. Yeah, I liked her in the Wolverine. So but for someone that had never done films before, she really kind of held her own in that movie opposite Hugh Jackman. And she was one of the most integral players to that movie as well. Be great to see how she does in this film, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, there's not much of anything that given information on who should be playing. So this film is currently in production. So I'm sure we'll find that down the pipeline. And onto another similar subject, which is it's called Alita Alita Battle Angel now, as opposed to Battle Angel Alita or just Alita.
Oh, they changed the title.
Yeah, it's Alita Battle Angel now, and it also has a release date of July 20th, 2018. They've got an actress now that will be cast. That has been cast in this film. What's her name?
Rosa Salza.
There's the one. Yeah, it's right in the notes. So, Rosa Salza, who you can see in the Maze Runner, which was the last film she was in, and I've never seen any of the Maze Runner films, but she looks the part. She looks very much like the character in the manga. So it looks like they've cast right, it seems. So it looks like Robert Rodriguez is on his way to direct this one, and it's still I believe James Cameron is still involved to a degree. They're using his script, and so all parts of his script. I don't know how much it will change once it starts filming, but now that Robert Rodriguez is definitely on it, I'm guessing he's going to bring his Robert Rodriguezisms into this film, and so it's going to be very snappy, quite violent, because the anime is quite violent, and so if they're sticking to what the anime is like, then or the manga, then I'm guessing we're in the UK over here, so it'll probably be 15 if they're pushing that over here, or an R in the US. I believe that's the equivalent. So that's all I can say about that character, really.
She seems like an interesting choice. I mean, she's done quite a lot of strong body of work over the past couple of years, mainly television. She's been in the Insurgent series as well as the Maze Runner. She's been in a film called Submerged and Night Owls. But she's like one of those upcoming actresses and stuff. And if James Cameron would have had something to do with the casting call on this, and he has a very good eye for strong women kind of thing. That seems to be what he writes all the time. I mean, this guy directed Ripley. He created Sarah Connor and did, casted Linda Hamilton for that role. The Abyss, another film, strong women. So he has an eye for this kind of casting and this kind of thing. Rodriguez, I'm quite looking forward to this movie, because this movie is gonna make or break Rodriguez, to be quite honest, because I think he's the right director for this material, and this is the correct kind of material for him to branch out into this kind of filmmaking. At the moment, the last thing where he really pushed himself was the original Sin City. I know a lot of people didn't like the second one, but I blame its shortcomings on Frank Miller, okay, because they left it so long. They based that on whatever he wanted to create originally to fill up the gaps for the movie, and that flawed because of that. But if I took one thing out of that movie, the art direction, the way it was filmed was spot on, just like the original. And I think Battle Angel Alita would probably push him even further, in terms of what he can do on a much bigger scope. And with James Cameron guiding him as well. This could be set to be one of Rodriguez's biggest challenges to date. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I don't think it'll be a challenge for him. Because he thinks about everything in such a different way from other directors. Okay, what do I need? This, and this, and he just does it.
Yeah,
he's probably finished filming it already.
We did it in 3 days.
Yeah, and that's what he's
in
very,
my house.
he's a very unique director in terms of that he knows exactly what he needs, and he just does it. And on the cheap, he does things on a low budget, and so I don't think this will be. I think something like Star Wars would challenge him. I don't think this will challenge him at all, because I think this is right in his. Have you ever seen the anime?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and so the anime is, I think, right up his street. It's very, I wouldn't say desperado, but it's got that same feel. If I was to translate what
he is the kind of director that stays very truthful to the source material. If you see the way how he handles Sin City, that's a collaboration with the original creator. If you see some of the other stuff that he has in development, like Fire and Ice and stuff like that, it's very true to what those materials are. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Because he likes doing stuff faithfully. So be interesting to see what he pulls out of this.
Yeah, so, I'm fascinated to see what he comes up with as well. And again, it's still very much a James Cameron film, but because he's juggling 4 Avatar films at the moment, he's I guess he'll just be a producer on the film, or he'll help with the script to some degree or something.
Are they still going full CGI with the main character? Because that was a thing at one point.
Yeah, the last report is that they're going to have some element like that, but because of the way her body's made up, I guess someone corrected me on YouTube the other day that they'll oh gosh, I can't remember what the guy said, but my guess would be what they did with Alicia Vikander in Ex Machina, and so because her body is mechanized,
right?
And so I'm guessing they're going to go for something like that, or that type of look. So that's going to be interesting to see. We know whether the case, and with the guys that did Avatar, I think, was it Weta that helped do Avatar?
Yeah, it was Weta.
So I don't know if they'll be using Weta, but ILM, Weta, or whoever they use, it's gonna look good. I'm guessing it might be NPC, because NPC are doing Ghost in the Shell. I could be wrong about that, but in regards to the film, this film comes out July 20th, 2018. It may change, who knows, but I'm for one looking forward to these 2 films could start off an anime trend. So we'll see where it goes with this. On to old but new. So in this segment, we talk about films from our past that we don't think many people would recognise today, and we would recommend you watch them. And so, Sach, what is your old but new?
So today's old but new is the movie Following, directed by The Dark Knight's Christopher Nolan. It's a crime. Well, it's kind of like a film noir kind of film. It's a black and white film that he did back in 1999. Well before the Memento. Now Memento, everyone would assume would be his first film, but that was actually his first theatrical release. He actually directed this film when he wasn't a known director or even a director. It was like a film he did with his mates that he regularly did short films with, and he created this crime thriller mystery thing. And it stars a guy called Jeremy Theobald, who's in Batman Begins, Memento, and The Prestige. He's been in all of Christopher Nolan's early films, and it also stars a chap called Alexandra Hall and Lucy Russell. They're the 3 main leads, And this film was filmed all across London, mainly round his friends' houses. And it's really shot on quite a tight budget, but you know what? It has all the trademarks of a Christopher Nolan movie. It's one to dig up and look for. If you're looking to buy it, I don't believe anywhere sells it anymore. It's out of print because I've tried to purchase it myself, but I think you might be able to find it from some streaming sites or maybe able to download it. It's a really good murder, kind of like mystery kind of thriller kind of thing. Totally recommend it. If you want to check some of his short films, go on YouTube, type in Doodlebug, and that'd be an interesting look at as well. But following Christopher Nolan, check it out.
Cool, man. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a recommendation from Mr. Sacha Allari. And I don't have one this week. I'll probably have one next week. But yeah. Okay, so on to the next segment, which is films opening this week in the UK. And so we got 5 films coming out next week. 2 coming out on the 30th. And and that would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. So this reteams Megan Fox, Will Arnett, and for the first time Tyler Perry, Noel Fisher, Jeremy Howard, Pete Hoslak, Alan Richardson, and Brian T. And so Satch, I've not seen the first one, so I can't really go into this. Alright.
I love Turtles. Okay, in some ways, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got me into my love of comic books to a degree. I love the old animated show, the original cartoons. I loved the old comic books by Eastman and Laird. I love the old movies. I love the original movie even more with the puppets and stuff. I really like that movie. I love the current animated show that Nickelodeon have got on right now. I fucking hate this version of the Ninja Turtles, the Megan Fox ones. I think, well, I'll tell you what. The trailers for this movie had me intrigued. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked the look of them, but the first movie was so dog shit. I'm not gonna mince my words. It was a fucking bullshit movie. There were no fucking ninjas in that movie. There were barely any ninja things about it, unless those ninjas were so freaking ninjas that I actually didn't see them because they were actually doing what actual ninjas were supposed to do. Maybe they'll come out of the shadows on this one, but I'm telling you. I just didn't like this interpretation. The Foot Clan was a security team, a Black Ops security team with miniguns and shit. Get the fuck out, man! I came to see ninjas, and more importantly, I came to see turtles. And where were they? I mean, they showed up. They looked cartoony when they were about. I think the only part of the whole movie I liked was when they were beatboxing in the elevator, and that was it. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna check this film out because I do like the Turtles as like an idea of sorts. The trailers look kind of cool for what they were, but the big part of me was the first film sucked so hard. You know what I mean? So
I wish there was another person that had it. I've not seen it.
Yeah,
so
I'm sorry, man.
It's a one-sided opinion.
I know. I know a lot of other people have liked this movie. Okay, I know a few of my buddies actually really like this movie. They're like, "Wow, this is really good." Sash, So this is just my opinion. Yeah, I just did not like the original Ninja Turtles. I just felt there was no ninjas in it. The fighting was shit, and just fucking hated it. I'd go into it more, but I just. Yeah.
Okay, well that's the original one.
Yeah.
What do you make? What do you like the look of this one?
The trailers have been better. The trailers have been better. I'm not gonna lie. It's got Rocksteady and Bebop up in there. Some of the jokes seem genuinely funny. Michelangelo, there was this bit where Krang's there, or you think it's Krang and it is Krang. He goes to punch his stomach, and then he sees the brain, and he freaks out. And I was like, that's pretty funny. You know what I mean? Because I expect that from Michelangelo. I'm hoping that they have listened to the critics and some of the people that didn't like the first movie and put more Turtles screen time, because I'm afraid my problem with the original movie, one of my gripes was, it felt like the Transformers movies, too much on human characters and not enough times with the actual Turtles. And ideally, I want to see that brotherhood represented up on the screen, rather than them just come in, save the day whenever they can with a few lit. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I got to say about that, really.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not going to watch this, so...
I'll let you guys know some other time.
Okay, so on to the next film, Warcraft: The Beginning. Yeah. I've got no interest in watching this film.
I'm going to check it out tomorrow. I'm intrigued. I've said this before in this podcast, by the talent behind it, etc. I think the marketing has been really dog shit for this film. We'll see what happens. I mean, like, all Duncan Jones has to do is just deliver me a good story and a good thing. Early reviews have kind of stated that, you know, the human characters aren't that great and whatnot, but I've not seen the movie. I'll know by tomorrow. But you know, one thing they've all said, they says it's not that bad, but it's nothing to rave about. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Do you think it's going to be dead in the water?
What do you mean by that? As in a shit film, or at the box office?
It's because I had a conversation with people I was with yesterday, and I don't even know what I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't think general audiences even know whether Warcraft exists. We'll find out. It might be something for me to pimp during the half term while X-Men and everything else is sold out. So it could get counter programming numbers and word of mouth numbers if it's good. On that alone, if everything's sold out and there's nothing else to watch at, they'll be like, Warcraft, what's Warcraft about? And then you point them in that direction. So that could work for them this half term to a degree. There's always that option. We'll just have to see.
Okay.
So.
Right. Well, okay, so Warcraft has Paula Patton, Ben Foster, Dominic Cooper, who Tom doesn't like, Tony Kebbell, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Ben Scheisner, Rob I can't pronounce this guy's name, Rob
Kansky, the guy from EastEnders.
Ah, well, he's
the Slater brother.
He's failed upwards, so that's good.
He was in True Blood as well, and Pacific Rim.
Yeah, he's definitely failed upwards. So yeah, that's good for that guy. So the next film is coming out. I think it's actually coming out on the Friday of this week. Me Before You, which has the Mother of Dragons, Emily Clark, and Charles Dance, Sam Claflin, Calvin even, Jenna Coleman even. It's from the trailer, it looks like it's a tragic romantic comedy. I wouldn't say comedy. It's a light comedy. I guess I'm saying this wrong, but yeah, it looks like one of those films, those feel good films until it doesn't feel good anymore. Yeah, it's about a paraplegic apparently, and she's looking after him, and they go through the hijinks of we're not really meant for each other, but we end up being with each other, and it's got its classic romantic beats there. From the trailer. I'm guessing you didn't see the trailer to this.
No, I saw the trailer.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I guess it's slotted in well to any time of the summer. Really, I guess it's
a date film.
Counter programming as for all the other films, all the comic book films and action films that are out at the moment, and so yeah, it's one for the couples, or it's not strictly to couples, but yeah, whoever wants to watch that type of film. So, are you going to queue up for this?
Not unless I was forced to.
So you're gonna go with someone then?
If someone suggests it and that's what they really want to see, then I'll go check it out. But otherwise, it's not really something that I'd go seek to.
You never know. You might end up enjoying it.
Maybe. But if we're just going on trailers, yeah, Mother of Dragons. I'll stick to your TV show. Because I'm a pervert.
What does that mean? I don't even know. I don't even know what context that means. But yeah, that's out on February the 3rd of June, and look out for it if that's what you're into. Okay, on to the next film, which is The Nice Guys, and this has this is starring Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, Kim Basinger, Matt Boomer, and this is from Shane Black. This if you know the name, then you're going to be queuing up for the film anyway. So it's set in the 70s. It's almost, is it, would you say a caper?
It's a crime caper buddy kind of comedy here. Yeah.
It's got all the, okay, if you didn't like Iron Man 3, then
that doesn't mean they won't dislike this.
yeah, well that's what I was trying to get some kind of middle ground on that. It's very hard to explain what a Shane Black film is like, because it's all about the dialogue.
Shane Black, okay? Basically, it's set in Christmas. Okay, these are the ingredients for a Shane Black film. And this is testament because he did the exact same thing in Iron Man 3. 1, it has to be Christmas. 2, it has to be a crime caper of some kind. Or there has to be a MacGuffin or a crime element of some kind. The Santa Claus reference. Trying to think what else there should be in a Shane Black movie. But they're all... he has a certain aesthetic that's in all of his movies. Christmas plays a big part, okay? For an example of that, look at Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon 2. Christmas plays a big part in both of those movies. You got Last Boy Scout. You got Long Kiss Goodnight. You got Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You've got, The Nice Guys. So I'm skipping Iron Man 3. Actually, yeah, was it Christmas in Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
There we go. It was Christmas in Iron Man 3 as well. He just has certain things that he likes to bring up and put. Maybe he just loves Christmas. I don't know. But I'm assuming it'll be Christmas in the 70s here. I haven't seen any of that element in the trailer. I'll laugh when we get his Predator film, the Predator kills the Santa Claus. That'll make me laugh. But anyway. But yeah, no. Shane Black, fantastic writer. If you didn't like Iron Man 3, I'm pretty sure you motherfuckers like Lethal Weapon. Okay, because I like Lethal Weapon. I ain't talking about the shit TV show that's coming out soon. But no, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 of the greatest action movies ever made. Go watch it.
What about 3?
We're talking about Shane Black here.
Okay.
So I'm only going to include the shit he wrote.
Cool.
Of course, 3's great.
Okay.
I mean, he created the characters. Does that count to his writing? I don't know. Some people think so, but no. Look, if you didn't like Iron Man 3, that doesn't mean you won't like this film, okay? Trust me. I beg anyone with a brain to check out Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, because that film is phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's Robert Downey Jr., if you like Robert Downey Jr., in there before Iron Man, and Val Kilmer. And I'm telling you, those two have fantastic chemistry. This film kind of shows that chemistry that he has, with all of his characters in the script. Because as you can see, Lethal Weapon, it's a buddy cop thing. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, it's a buddy thing. Last Boy Scout, buddy thing. Even Long Kiss Goodnight, even though difference of the sexes, buddy thing. You know what I mean? Samuel L. Jackson, that was like one of my best Samuel L. Jackson movies ever. If you haven't seen Long Kiss Goodnight, that's another recommendation I'd say. Just watch anything this guy has written. The dialogue is golden. You know what? If he never directs again, I just sure as hell hope he keeps writing and people make movies on his fucking scripts, because this guy just needs to keep writing. Okay? So that's my opinion on Shane Black. I'm glad Iron Man 3, despite what people think about it, has given him his due to give us more movies. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Shane Black. If you still hate Shane Black because of Iron Man 3, you clearly don't like movies. You should shoot yourself in the face and not listen to this podcast.
No, please don't do that. You're far more extreme than I ever thought you would be.
What, today?
Yeah, just on any of the podcasts. I think I've sworn once. Anyway, so The Nice Guys comes out on the 3rd of June. Next film on the mantelpiece is Race. Race is about the athlete Jesse Owens. If you know your history, was the guy who won in the Berlin Olympics, and it was a black man that won in Berlin, and that was controversial. This is a biopic about the events of him training up to do it, not all the trials and tribulations of doing that, and not even being he wasn't even allowed to see he had to go through the kitchen of the president's house to even meet the president. Anyway, I'm going to go into a different area, but this is a film that's important to me. I think it was one of the stories that I was wondering, why hasn't this story been told? This is a brilliant story. It just shows you how you go from one end of fascism to another end of fascism. I think it's a really important film, and one I really want to see. And so that I'm passing it on to you now, Serge.
Well, this film looks quite interesting. I really want to see it. It's directed by a really interesting director, Stephen Hopkins. He's been about forever. He's like one of those directors that have directed like a lot of the 90s and 80s films that you wouldn't have thought. I mean, like, he did Nightmare on Elm Street 5. He actually directed Predator 2. A lot of people don't know that. He also did Blown Away, the one with Tommy Lee Jones and Jeff Bridges, The Ghost in the Darkness, Lost in Space, Under Suspicion, and a couple of episodes of the TV series 24. Lately, he's just been doing a lot of stuff in TV and stuff, and he's done the odd film, but it's always been the odd indie here and there. But this is like, seems like a really big release for him. He hasn't had like a big theatrical release in a while. Great subject matter. The trailer looked great. I'm actually looking forward to see what he does here. This film looks quite interesting. It's got quite a good cast. It's got Stephen James in there. Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. Never mind.
I can't pronounce him. But it looks interesting. I mean, Stephen James, he was in Selma, he's in Home Again.
Jeremy Irons.
Has he got Jeremy Irons in there? Mm-hmm. Nice cast. Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah, and so that comes out on June 3rd as well, and that's one of my recommendations for this week. I would suggest you go and watch that if you want a small history lesson into inequality in the 1930s. Film 20 questions. The dreaded film 20 questions. The dreaded 20 questions. And so, this week, the film will be... don't be telling. Okay, so, I'm going to write something down here. Right. Okay. Gosh, I can't name a film. What do you think's easier, films from the 90s or films from the 2000s?
Easier?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
No, the reason I say that is because in terms of what you've watched recently as opposed to what you remember from when you were growing up, is it easy to remember stuff from when you were growing up? Or
I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest.
All right then. Well, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, got it. And it's your time to go. Do you remember how it works?
Yeah, I remember how it works. Is there an A in the title? I'm joking.
All right, okay.
I was about to play a different game. Hang on. Okay. Was it released? Is it a modern film or an old film?
Describe old, because that could
in
be
the
from
past
the
20 years.
No.
What?
In the past 20 years.
Yeah, is it a modern film or an older film?
It's older than that.
Oh, it's older than that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Shit. Okay. Does it have a famous director?
Yes.
Is it Alfred Hitchcock?
No. You've gone too far back.
Because you said it was.
Yeah, you said in the past 20 years. It's not.
Oh shit. Is it in the 80s?
Yes.
Okay, 80s. Great. Is that a comedy?
It has elements of comedy in it.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Scrooged?
No. Your guesses count.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm.
Those were legitimate guesses.
Okay.
Those were two legitimate stuff with comedy in them. Is this direct? Hang on, wait, no. What genre is it?
I can't tell you that. You have to guess the genre.
Oh man, it's yes or no, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn it. Is the lead a male or female?
Male.
Okay. Is the is the lead in films today as a leading man?
No.
No. Okay. Ex-leading man. Is it an ensemble cast or is it like?
It's not an ensemble cast. Ensemble.
Does it have Kurt Russell in it?
No.
No.
You've got 9 guesses left.
My guess is it science fiction?
Yes.
Aliens?
No.
Predator?
No. A comedy? Come on, man.
RoboCop?
No.
Well, they have comedy in it.
Okay, what part does Predator have comedy in it?
There's loads of comedy in it.
Where? Apart from the fact that Arnold goes, Dylan!
Dylan! Look,
That's
it's got Arnold in it, period. There's mere comedy in that movie, man.
You're insane, man.
I see the CIA has been making you push pencils.
That's... Okay, that's very light. Very, very light.
What about, I'm a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus or whatever the fuck he says.
Wow, man, you're really skimming the comedy thing here,
Come
man.
on, man, it was quite funny.
Okay, you got 5 guesses left. I can't give you an clue in this because you'll get it straight away.
Fuck. He's not big anymore.
Yep. In fact, the last film he did was back in maybe 2003.
It's Joe Pesci.
No. Or was that? No, I'm going to give you that one. It's not him.
Is it set in space?
No.
Okay, so it's reality based. Is it set in the past?
Yes.
So it's time travel involved.
Mm-hmm.
Time travel. Back to the Future.
Spot on. With 2 guesses to go. Very good, man. Very good, very good. Yeah, it was Robert Zemeckis was the famous
Right.
character.
Okay. Yeah.
When you got to a certain point, I thought, yeah, you must be able to get this.
Yeah.
Because if I gave you one guess, one.
Well,
clue,
that was the guess of time travel. I said, is it set in the past? Is it time travel? Yeah, it's back. I was like, well, it's not Bill and Ted.
Well, yeah, good guess, man, and a good game. Again, if you want to, what I'm trying to do with Film 20 Questions is to get people to write in with the name of a film, so you can get us to guess it, essentially. Considering that I'll be seeing the emails, it'll probably be you guessing it. But if you want to write in and with a film name that you want us to guess, just write into. You can email us on podcast@zedosgang.co.uk, and just you can write into anything. It doesn't have to be about this. It can be about anything. So if it's a topic that we talked about and that you want to correct us on, feel free to write into that as well. Or it can just be about anything. There's something that you want us to talk about. So yeah, just feel free to write into podcast@zedosgang.co.uk. You can also catch us on Twitter, which is just @ZedosGang, and so or write something in the description, which most people seem to do. So Sach, you're on Twitter as well. Where can I find you on Twitter?
Sacha Allari on Twitter, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, on that note, this is the end of the podcast. I'd like to thank people that are listening. Thank you, Sach. This has been the Zedos Gang podcast, and we're out.